Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Credentials Podcast, coming at you live from the condo studio. Going to be the last pod in the studio. Going to be moving into a house tomorrow. So absolutely excited. I am enamored over the fact that I'll have my own space, my own house, my own backyard. I'm going to raise chickens. Just have my homestead. I've got a pool. I've got a basketball court in the backyard. I'm absolutely stoked. It's been a big learning process with this. I bought a house in June last year, and I've just been doing some remodels. And what started off as I'll rip up the flooring and knock down a wall turned into a complete remodel. But I'm super excited about it. It's one of those things that, so many things came up that if you're going to do it, makes so much more sense to do it now. And so that's what I did with a bunch of things. And I'm really excited with the product. I think it looks amazing. And I'm just so happy to be about to live in there. Been feeling great this month. I've been sober all month. Besides caffeine, this is 400 milligrams of caffeine today. Just going hard in the caffeine game. But other than that, been sober all month. No weed, no alcohol, and feeling fantastic. Honestly, I didn't even realize that today's February 1st, and last night I didn't even realize that, sober January is over. I'm going to keep it riding. I'm just feeling really good, and I'm just going to keep the momentum going. I'll continue to drink way too much caffeine, but maybe I'll taper that back as well. Maybe I'll do a fast, coming up a 3-day fast or something like that. Give me reset, know what I'm saying? And maybe I'll cut caffeine during that, or maybe I won't, because sometimes drinking a lot of coffee during it helps suppress the appetite, especially that first day, the most difficult one. It helps out a bit. But I am just absolutely stoked on life. I've been suffocating myself with positive, I guess you could call it motivational stuff, also strategical stuff, just trying to learn, become a better human, a more adept human, a more intelligent, well-read, articulate human. And that's what I'm doing. Just getting after it. Fucking listen to Tony Robbins, listening to Tate, listening to anything that I feel I can glean some info from. And it feels really good. I basically, I don't listen to music. Maybe 5% of the time I'll listen to music, but 95% of the time I just treat my car as like a mobile academy. Every time I'm in there, I'm learning or looking up something. If I get tired of that, I'll throw on a podcast that's just funny. Although those can be educational as well. But yeah, that's how I spend my time in my car, and I feel really good about it. And so I'm super excited for 2025. I think it's going to be a year of prosperity. I think it's going to be a year of growth. I think it's going to be a year of new and exciting problems to overtake. And I'm super excited to absolutely get after it while be living in a fucking house. How exciting. It's so difficult to own a house right now. You know what's crazy too? My mortgage is more than it could rent for. I read something the other day that in the United States, it's now cheaper to rent than to own in the entire United States. Every single state or major metro in the United States, it's cheaper to rent than to own, which is insane. It's always traditionally been cheaper to own in your monthly payment sense. You have to come up with a down payment, but now it's actually cheaper. It's more expensive. For instance, I couldn't get the rent that my mortgage is. If I couldn't rent the house, if I rented the house for the maximum amount of money I could get, it wouldn't cover the mortgage. Isn't that fucking nuts? But it's okay. It's the cost of ownership in today's environment, and I think it's worth it. I want to own stuff. I want to own a lot of things, actually. I want to grow a massive portfolio of real estate that is income, is financial security, is a way to create in the world. I want to have retail buildings that I have an ability to create a certain synergistic flow throughout. One thing that was inspiring to me one time is I went to this place in Prescott, a jiu-jitsu gym up there. I wonder if it's still the case. I think it's the Mountain Tribe guys. Maybe. Maybe it's them, maybe it's some other people, but it was in Prescott. And there was this really cool flow between the multiple uses throughout. There was essentially a coffee shop, a jiu-jitsu gym, and a barber, all three tenants next to each other, but there was a common hallway throughout. So you could get your hair cut, go train, get some coffee, all without actually exiting the building. And I thought that was really sweet. Something that you don't really see in real estate. And it was probably really helps out each of the individual tenants, you know, because the guys getting their haircuts are like, what are they doing over there? They're fucking choking each other. And maybe that gets them, the jiu-jitsu people, more members, and maybe the jiu-jitsu people need to get their haircut. I like to drink coffee before working out and stuff, and so I probably would get some coffee there. I think it's like a real synergistic flow between all the people that are there. And so I want to own a building like that. I want to own, maybe build eventually, but just create stuff in a way that, like, for instance, in certain cities, there's family names that are known throughout. Like, there's just people that have done great things within the state. Like, in Arizona, for instance, there are the Herbergers. They were big developers for a long time. And there's like the Herberger Center of Art or something like that in downtown Phoenix. There's like this whole thing dedicated to them. It might not be an art place, but it's something dedicated to those people. Like Russ Lyon was a big developer back in the Dizzy, and he built so much of Arizona. I think he was in a number of different states. It's now like the Russ Lyon Sotheby's has, it's a whole brokerage and something that lives on past him. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he was a big guy back in the Dizzy. And there's certain names, and now the Lyon name, Lyon, is like a famous name. You know, Russ Lyon is now not even a person; it's like an entity. I want that. I want people to go downtown and be like, "Oh, that's a Werner building. That's that you could tell by the fucking beautiful quality, or whatever it is, or just have an impact like that." I think that would be such an incredible thing. I wanted to name it Werner Enterprises, but those fucking cocksuckers with the trucks already took that. So that kind of pisses me off, but I'll come up with something sick. When Werner Enterprises just has a roll, you know what I'm saying? It's got to roll off the tongue. You got to come up with something good. Maybe Werner Incorporated, or Gigi is a cat that doesn't stop fucking biting Incorporated. Something like that. This little cat's making a guest appearance. But yeah, that's what I want to do. So what you do is you just build slowly. You take on more and more difficult challenges. Hey, crazy girl. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take on bigger and better challenges every single day. I put my name out there. I cold call. I've worked it back into the regular routine of just cold calling all the time. Always keeps me on my toes. I record myself. I'm trying to, evaluate myself from a third-party perspective and see what I could do better, how I can become a better communicator, how I can more effectively articulate that I'm a valuable resource to potential clients, and just increase my service to the world. There's like a quote that the more people that benefit from your existence, the wealthier you will be. If millions of people benefit from your existence, if millions of people use a service that you created every single day, you become Jeff Bezos, right? Like him or love him, or like him or hate him. That's what he's done for the world. You could hate him, but you have a fucking Amazon account. So do you really hate him? You probably hate him for ideological reasons, which is a little silly. But yeah, that's a guy who had an idea. He had some really good paying job and decided to make a turn. But that's all I got for today. I've got some shit to do. So hasta luego. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Us.